What if I told you there's a completely hidden part of the internet that standard search engines like Google literally cannot reach? It's a place absolutely surrounded by myths, mysteries, and honestly, a whole lot of fear. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving inside the dark web to uncover the truth nobody tells you. We're going to strip away those Hollywood hacker stereotypes and separate absolute fact from fiction by counting down 10 real things that actually exist on the unindexed internet.
So what actually exists down there? I mean, we constantly hear these sensationalized stories in the media, right? From elite cybercriminals to shadowy syndicates, the internet's underbelly is almost always painted as this lawless wasteland. But what's really happening beyond all those terrifying rumors?
Okay, let's get our definitions straight first. The dark web is a relatively small, deliberately hidden portion of the internet. You can't just type a URL into Chrome or Safari and stumble into it. It requires specialized software to access, and the entire architecture is designed from the ground up with one primary goal in mind: strict user anonymity.
Section 1. The architecture beyond the surface web.
Our first real thing is hidden websites. Picture the internet as a giant iceberg. The part sticking out above the water, that's the surface web. It's about 5% of the internet, which is basically everything you can Google, from Wikipedia to social media. That massive chunk underwater, that's the deep web, making up the other 95%. Now, the deep web isn't inherently sinister. It's just unindexed. It's your private Gmail inbox, company databases, or your online banking portal. The dark web is just the very, very bottom tip of that iceberg, intentionally hidden and isolated from the rest.
Number 2 on our list is anonymous browsing. The dark web is powered by specialized networks like Tor, which protect user identities. And actually, the origin story here is fascinating. Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, wasn't built by cybercriminals. It was originally developed in the 1990s by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory. They needed a hyper-secure way for intelligence officers to communicate. But they quickly realized that if only spies were using the network, anyone on it would instantly be flagged as a spy. So they made it open source, hiding their top-secret traffic within the noise of everyday users.
Think of how this works like a giant puzzle, or better yet, a 3-courier system. When you use Tor, your data gets encrypted in layers, literally like an onion. In step 1, your data hits an entry node. It knows who you are, but not where your data is going. Step 2, the middle node. This guy only knows the service directly next to it. It has no clue who you are or what the final destination is. Finally, in step 3, the exit node knows the destination website, but has no idea who sent the request in the first place. No single server ever gets the whole story.
Section 2. The light in the dark, a haven for privacy.
That underlying architecture brings us to number 3, journalists and whistleblowers. Anonymity isn't just for bad actors. It's absolutely crucial for human rights. Major newsrooms like ProPublica actually use systems like SecureDrop on the dark web. They rely on this completely encrypted setup so sources and whistleblowers can safely expose corruption and share incredibly sensitive files without authoritarian regimes tracking them down.
Thing number 4 is censored libraries. In parts of the world where the internet is severely restricted, the dark web is literally a lifeline. There are massive projects out there preserving banned books and blocked academic research. Wildly enough, Facebook actually built its own specific .onion site back in 2014. Why? So people living in heavily censored countries could safely bypass state firewalls and communicate freely.
But of course, there's a flip side to this coin. Section 3. The underbelly, the criminal underworld.
Number 5 is illegal marketplaces. Because, let's face it, the exact same privacy that protects a vulnerable whistleblower also shields dangerous criminals. We've seen massive, coordinated takedowns by the FBI and Europol targeting these hubs, like the infamous bust of the Silk Road. Law enforcement is locked in a never-ending game of whack-a-mole with these dark markets. So what are they actually selling down there? We're talking real-world, highly illegal goods and services. Yes, there are drugs and contraband, which were heavily targeted in huge sweeps like Operation Anonymous. But there's also a booming digital black market. You can buy zero-day exploits, basically unpatched software vulnerabilities for tens of thousands of dollars. Or even crazier, cybercrime as a service. Someone with zero technical skills can literally just rent a network to launch a massive DDoS attack. Which leads right into number 6, cryptocurrency. You need a way to pay for this stuff, right? But we really need to bust a massive myth here. A lot of folks think crypto provides total anonymity for criminals. No way. The reality is that these transactions are recorded on a completely public blockchain ledger. If a user gets sloppy and links their real name to a wallet even once, authorities can trace those public ledgers straight to their front door. Staying truly anonymous takes flawless execution, and humans make mistakes.
Thing number 7, mysterious forums. Now, these aren't always chaotic, shadowy hacker dens. Surprisingly, they operate a lot like traditional e-commerce sites. Vendors have to build reputations, buyers leave detailed reviews, and they even use escrow systems so people don't get ripped off. It's a mix of intense cybersecurity debates, software distribution, and, naturally, some incredibly bizarre conspiracy theories.
Section 4. Scams, Myths, and Malware, the Illusions and Real Dangers.
Let's completely flip the script on what you probably think is dangerous versus what actually is. If you've ever gone down a YouTube rabbit hole, you've definitely heard of the legendary Red Rooms, right? The terrifying rumor of sinister live-stream torture rooms for paying audiences?
Well, number 8 is internet myths. Open-source intelligence researchers are entirely on the same page here. These are fabricated urban legends. There is literally zero reliable evidence that they exist. Think about it technically. The Tor network struggles to route a basic, low-res video stream, maintaining a stable, untraceable live broadcast for a bunch of paying viewers. It's just not happening. It's a scary campfire story designed to farm clicks.
Number 9. Scams everywhere. The data on this is actually wild. When someone on a dark market claims they're selling a massive, fresh data breach, 95% of the time, it's a complete scam. Half the time, it's just old data recycled from a public leak years ago. Another 45% of the time, it's totally fake, auto-generated garbage. Only a tiny 5% is genuine, new data. The dark web is an absolute scammer's paradise.
And these fraudsters are bold. They will straight up impersonate famous ransomware groups or notorious hackers, set up fake channels, and sell expensive VIP subscriptions for exclusive data that doesn't even exist. They're just preying on curious tourists and inexperienced researchers who don't know any better.
And that brings us to the climax of our explainer. Number 10. The absolute most important reality of the unindexed web.
The biggest danger, if you ever decide to poke around down there, the biggest threat to you is not some elite master hacker trying to access your webcam. It's the incredibly mundane yet totally devastating threat of malware. We're talking automated downloads, keyloggers silently stealing your passwords, ransomware locking up your entire device, and super basic phishing links. It is a literal minefield waiting for curious people to make a careless click.
Wrapping up, I think this quote perfectly captures the reality. The dark web isn't inherently evil, and it's not purely good either. It represents a fundamental tension in modern society, privacy versus security. The tech itself, onion routing, heavy encryption, is totally neutral. It's just a tool. It can protect an activist's life, and it can hide a cybercriminal's tracks.
So it leaves us with a pretty profound dilemma. As long as humanity needs privacy, hidden networks like this are going to exist. But if achieving total internet security means giving up our total anonymity, well, which one are you willing to sacrifice? Keep questioning, keep exploring, and as always, approach the unknown with a healthy mix of curiosity and caution.